growing up in several western cities, the music started around San Francisco.
I was a senior in high school and Lindsay was a junior. And we went to a Young Life meeting, which is a religious meeting that simply got you out of the house on Wednesday night. And he was there, and I was there, and we sat down and sang California Dreaming. I thought he was darling. I didn't see him again for 2 years, and he called me up and said, would you like to be in a rock and roll band? And all I did was, play my little guitar and write songs. And I said, why not? I've got nothing else to do. And so then I was in this band with him for 3.5 years, a band called Fritz. And he and I didn't start going together until that band broke up. So we played. We toured all over San Francisco, basically, but that was right in the midst of the big San Francisco music, so we opened for everybody. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. We moved from San Francisco to LA with about 9 songs that Lindsay and I had recorded on his 4-track Ampex. And we spent about a year in a little tiny room recording these songs. And when we were done, we got a deal with Power in about 3 months.
Don't Let Me Down Again, the opening track from the Buckingham Nicks album on the Stevie Nicks Special. Frozen Love is her only collaboration with Lindsay on that LP.
Frozen Love is a strange song, and Lindsay worked very hard on it. That's the reason that I split that. That's the only song I've ever said was written by me and somebody else, because he wrote the middle part, the whole beautiful middle part. And it took a long time, that song. Over a period of months and months and months and months of putting it together. It was a difficult song. Fleetwood Mac did that on stage for a while, and it's a really interesting song to do on stage.
You may not be as strong as me.
Landslide from the White Fleetwood Mac LP on the Stevie Nicks Special.
Landslide I wrote in Aspen 3 months before I joined Fleetwood Mac, along with Rhiannon. And that's where the Snow-Covered Mountains came from. And I was definitely doing a lot of reflecting when I was up there. Lindsay was on the road with the Everly Brothers, and I was very unhappy and lonely, and trying to figure out why he was out with the Everly Brothers and I was in Aspen with $40 and my dog and my Toyota that went frozen the day we got there. And we thought he was going to make lots of money. He didn't. He came back to Aspen, and he was very angry with me and left me. Took Ginny, the poodle, and the car and left me in Aspen. The day that the Greyhound buses went on strike, I had a bus pass, because my dad was president of Greyhound. I had a bus pass. I could go anywhere, right? I said, fine, take the car and the dog. I have a bus pass. I had a strep throat also. He drove away. I walk in on the radio. It says, Greyhound buses on strike all over the United States. I'm going, oh no, I'm stuck. So in order to get out of Colorado, I had to call my parents, and they unwillingly sent me a plane ticket because they didn't understand what I was doing up there in the first place. So I followed him back to Los Angeles. That was like October. It was all around Halloween. 2 months later, Fleetwood Mac called on New Year's Eve.
Coming up, more from Mac's White Album and Rumors.
The Stevie Nicks Special with your host Denny Somack will return from the source.
Rhiannon on the Stevie Nicks Special from the White Fleetwood Mac album.
Really, it's Rhiannon. Which, forget that. Don't try to say that. Rhiannon is the prettiest way to say it. It's a Welsh name. Rhiannon never loses its thing. It's the first song I sit down and play at the piano. Whenever I play anything at the piano, I always start playing Rhiannon first, and then leads into whatever. It's just such a pretty song.
Another song on that album, Crystal, had first appeared on the Buckingham Nicks record.
John McVie wanted to put that on the Fleetwood Mac album. But the first time he heard it, he said, I want this on the album. And I didn't really, because it took the place of a new song. Since I write so much, I don't need to keep putting old songs that take places of new songs, which means those new songs are backlogged for the next and for the next and for the next. But he was insistent. So I said, all right. Loved with her, that little piano thing all through the end of it. We listened to just that part for days, picking out the exact parts that we wanted in it, and it was like mesmerizing. So when I think of Crystal, I think of those days with Fleetwood Mac.
Rumors followed in 1977. So did the much-publicized problems within Fleetwood Mac, despite the band's phenomenal success.
Lindsay and I were breaking up when we joined Fleetwood Mac, but we couldn't break up and join Fleetwood Mac at the same time. It was too much for one heart to take. So we didn't. We stayed together for over a year. Suddenly you've got a little money in your pocket, and I had a nice apartment, and I could go into a store and buy some clothes. So I felt much better, and Lindsay felt better, and John and Chris felt better. And because we were excited, and everybody was excited about the record. It's kind of like now with us, there's a certain excitement that can really make you put all your personal problems away for a while and just ride on that airstream. And, it took about 12 months to catch up. When we had all airstreamed out, we realized that nothing had changed.
Back on, gold-dust woman. Take it.
And all the people that don't know what to do, they have dreams and hopes and things that they would like to do, but they really don't know. It was never a choice for me. I just knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I don't know if I hadn't have done that, I really don't know what I would have done.
Dreams from Rumors on the Stevie Nicks Special. Also on that album, The Chain, a song that best illustrates the attitude within the band at the time.
Lindsay wrote, "Listen to the wind blow." That's it. I had written the "If you don't love me now, you'll never love me again" a year before for something else, but it was the same melody. So Lindsay said, "Can we use it?" And I said, "Well, you realize that in taking 'If you don't love me now,' you are ruining my song, because you are taking the chorus out of it." Well, he didn't care that much. And that was my chain idea, because I was the one that decided that this was a definite chain going on here. There was a reason that the links in this chain were holding together. And it became a real theme song for Fleetwood Mac.
During the Rumors session, Fleetwood Mac recorded but ultimately did not include one of Stevie's favorite songs.
I wanted Silver Springs on the record. Lindsay wanted I Don't Want to Know on the record and recorded it, and Silver Springs was off. And it went off because it was too long. It was, the version that everybody heard was like 4 minutes and something seconds, but it was really 7 minutes. And it was an incredible 7 minutes. I Don't Want to Know was a lot shorter. But the choice to take Silver Springs off and put I Don't Want to Know on will go down as the biggest question in history on whether that was the right thing to do or not.
Coming up in hour 2, Stevie's duets, Tusk and Solo Nicks.
The Stevie Nicks Special with your host Denny Somack will continue from the source.